Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time is not only a Michael Jackson impersonator, but he's also a professional wrestler, Santana Jackson. How you doing today, brother?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, dude. I mean, this is actually really cool for me because aside from being a humongous wrestling fan, you can kind of tell from behind me, I'm a
Oh man.
huge Michael Jackson fan. I think he's the greatest entertainer that ever lived. He's my number one artist. And so yeah, man, this is super cool for me.
Oh man, I appreciate it being on it. I love Michael as well. I'm a big fan since I was 6 years old. So,
I mean,
man, follow
we can see. So
learn a lot of the makeup, learn a lot of the stuff from a good friend of mine's taught me that passed away. But man, I love Mike like a big old kid, fangirl, all that.
yeah. So you said you were 6 years old when you started dancing like Michael, started imitating him.
Yeah, I was doing it in school in New York. Um, I did Billie Jean for show and tell. So back in the day, we used to do a show and tell thing in school. Come in, we could show something or we could tell something. Me, I prefer to show off, so I would dance. And Billie Jean was like the first song I danced to. And look, I mean that was it. I started opening up, feeling more comfortable with dancing in front of people.
That's what's up. So I mean, when you're doing the Billie Jean, is it like the Motown 25 uh version of Billie Jean where it's like it's not a lot of like robotics, or did you like do the robotics like you did later on in the 90s and the 2000s?
I'm more like the dangerous era. I do more
Okay.
like the era of Michael when he was doing Billie Jean. He had the of course the pops. Um, I kind of mix it up a little bit. So I mix it up. You get a bit of everything. Sometimes I'll do the popping and locking, but sometimes kind of go old school with it, original way.
No, yeah, absolutely, 100%, man. So, I mean, you started at 6 years old dancing like Michael, and then I'm sure like it evolved into doing a doing a set routine. So, I mean, did you throw like some Jackson 5 in there as you got older, or was it
Oh yeah.
strictly so I mean, do you have like brothers? Like, did they do it with you, or did your friends line up and do it with you, or were you solo doing it?
I was solo on it basically. I did it in solo like on the side, privately. My dog's making noise, sorry.
No, no, no,
But
don't worry about it. Don't worry
she's
about
over
it.
playing with her toy.
Don't worry about it. So I mean, like, you throw some Jackson 5 in there. I mean, like, are you doing like Dance Machine and I Want You Back, or the whole shebang?
I'm doing like the whole medley, the whole deal. So you get everything. You get every old school song, some of the newer stuff when they got older. Um, uh, Dancing Machine was one of my favorites. So I ain't gonna lie, I love the way Dancing Machine got down. It was just more fun.
Absolutely. I mean, when he does the robotics in it, it's mesmerizing. Like back in the 70s, and then like when he did it with his brothers later on, that was something really cool. But I mean, where you truly stand out, like you're a professional wrestler that impersonates Michael Jackson in the ring. I'm surprised that hasn't been done yet. I mean, that's super original. So I mean, as a kid, did you always want to become a professional wrestler?
I love wrestling. I watched it all the time. I mean, like The Rock was one of my favorites. Eddie Guerrero, Undertaker, Kane. These guys. I love watching them. Hulk Hogan. Um, I was always stuck on the TV watching wrestling, learning how to do the eyebrow like The Rock. Like, do you smell what Santana Jackson is cooking?
Absolutely. So I mean, like as a kid, you're like, oh, I want to be a wrestler, but then as you grow up, you're probably like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Or were you like, no, I'm going to do this one day?
So I was, I love wrestling. I used to practice. I have a little brother, so I used to throw him around trying the moves out. But it was like I did a lot of different things. I trained with for karate. I did some boxing. I did a little training for the UFC, not for the UFC, but to train for UFC. Um, then I kind of just I stuck to dancing, stuck to the Michael stuff, and then I didn't really could afford to wrestle. I wanted to wrestle, like that was my goal. I wanted to be a wrestler, have a title one day, maybe, you know, be all proud, like yeah, champion, baby, hee hee, and whatever. Um, so I guess like I got it. I came out here to Vegas, and I was trying to do my Michael stuff, and I started homeless for a while, and like a year, and then worked my way up, working off the strips. Got hired by a show. I work for the MJ Live show at the Stratosphere right now, and I was able to make some good money with them. And that's when I was like, all right, maybe I should sign up for a wrestling class now that I have a little bit of money to pay for it, because you have to pay for classes. You can't just go in for free. And me and my little brother, we looked up a class, found one, and started training. We started going there, working on it, working on it, working on it. They found out that I was a Michael Jackson impersonator. They're like, "Hey, is there any way we can use you to do Michael and wrestle?" I was like, I kind of wanted to wrestle as myself, but I did it. Next thing you know, Moonwalk TDT was born, and I kind of kept it going from there. I was like, okay, well, I get to live both my passions. I get to do my Michael and pay tribute to someone I loved as a kid, and then I get to wrestle at the same time too. So
No, yeah, absolutely. Because that's how I found out about you. I saw that clip a couple years ago, and I'm like, "Yo, there's a dude wrestling as Michael Jackson. That's super dope." I mean, that thing was viral. I think it even made it on ESPN.
yeah, yeah, that's what everyone was telling me. Like, dude, you're on ESPN. They send me clips of it. They're talking about me. People poking at it, making fun of it, or having, but still, my name was getting thrown out there. So I was like, all right. Heard Jim Cornette got a little upset with it too. He kind of had a whole podcast about it.
I mean, it's Jim Cornette doesn't like anything new age. That's a whole separate podcast. But so I mean, you've been since like your first pro wrestling match, you've been Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I was always Michael. I never really got to wrestle as me, so I always been wrestling as Michael.
Dude, that's dope. I mean, I've seen like you've wrestled Marty the Moth, who was like on Lucha Underground. You
Yeah,
wrestled Pat Buck, who created WrestlePro. So yeah, I mean, you've been making your rounds, man. You've been doing the damn thing. You wrestle for what? Is it FSW in Vegas? Is that the name of the promotion?
yeah. Future Stars of Wrestling. Yeah, FSW.
All right. So I mean, how long have you been in the business?
I'm going on 5 years.
5 years. That's
4 years.
dope.
4 years. Sorry, for about 4 years.
4 years. Okay. 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 So I mean, when like at the meet and greets, like what kind of questions do people ask you about the whole get up and gimmick?
They just like what made me want to do it. It's like I love Michael. I love to entertain him. I love to entertain. I love to do stuff. So it was an opportunity given to me, and everyone enjoyed it and loved it. And I thought, I was afraid because I didn't want to put Michael's name out there or make him look bad in any way. And but the reactions, so it was like, a new wrestler was born since then. you know.
Absolutely. So the moonwalk DDT, was that something you always like wanted to do once you started wrestling, or was it like off the cuff one day in a match?
It was literally, I was told they wanted me to wrestle as Michael, so I literally had to come up with stuff. And I was like, okay, what could be iconic? That's really cool that people pop for. They're like, oh, that was a Michael Jackson move, and it was a wrestling move at the same time. So I was thinking like suplexes, go up for a suplex, stay on my toes, stand on my toes, and do a suplex. I was like, that's kind of okay. I kept thinking elbows, like yeah, elbow drop, something with like a thriller. I couldn't really find it. And I started playing around moonwalk, and I was like, I have to add the moonwalk. And I looked up, I was watching a lot of old school stuff. I watched Jake the Snake's DDT, and I was like, I was like, I like that. I was like, maybe the DDT would work perfectly with the moonwalk. You can drag them and drop them. I tried it on a punching bag, one of those little bags that bounces back at you as you hit them. Grabbed it and did it. And I was like, you know what? That's it. That's my finisher. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with that. I think it's more. It's like paying tribute to Jake, and then it's like Michael, and it's a little bit of mix of everything, I guess.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, the DDT, it's one of the most famous finishers in the business, and it kind of lost it lost credibility because I mean, back in the day when Jake hit it, it was over, it was done, the match was done. And
Yeah.
you put a new twist on it, and I mean, I've showed it to people that aren't wrestling fans that are Michael Jackson fans, and vice versa, and everybody loves it, man.
Oh man, that's cool. I love to hear that. A lot of people have been sending me. I still get videos about it. People like still tagging me, and they're like, "Hey, you seen this guy? I don't know where to get this Brazil thing from, but everyone's like, he's in Brazil." I was like, "No, I'm in Vegas."
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, I mean, how have you been handling wrestling in the pandemic era? What's that been like for you?
uh, it's been different. It's a little different. I'm still getting to wrestle. We're all being tested to make sure we're all good to go before we go and start slamming each other around or jumping around. Getting sweaty. But it's different because we can't really interact with the crowd like we used to. You can't get out there and give high fives to the kids or moonwalk by everybody and get them all interacting with you to the moves that are going on. Or you feeding off of them. You feed off of their energy. So it's like I'm coming in with my own energy, and I'm just And I remember where the energy was like, so I try to keep it going the same way, But it's not the same. It's different. I mean, I traveled to Oklahoma. That was a different show. Everyone had masks on there, and it was a crowd there. So that was fun. That brought back like memories of everybody being crowded and going nuts for you. So that was fun. That was a good moment. Um, I wrestle right now with Versus Pro Wrestling. I started training with them and I'm working with them, and they're great people there. Our crowds, we're still building up on the crowds, but we still with people that show up a lot, real big fans, real supporters of the wrestling industry and the indie circuit. So everyone's out there showing some love. So
Absolutely,
it's
man.
it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the MJ Live, has that kind of like had to change because of COVID?
Yeah, big time. I mean, it's a big change. I went up there. We just had a rehearsal, and I got another one on the 13th. And I go back to work on the 14th. I got two shows that night. So yeah, we're gonna be wearing masks. Of course, I'm singing live, so I can't wear a mask for stage, but my dancers are all gonna be wearing masks. We're all being COVID tested to make sure we're okay. The crowd is gonna be a lot less than what we're used to having, because normally we could fill the place up with 500 people. Now we're probably all able to go to 150. So it's a little different, and I haven't blessed the stage yet to actually with a crowd and perform my first show back yet, but I'm hoping that it still kind of has the same energy. Everyone still kind of feels it. I know it'll be a little bit different with all the changing with COVID testing and stuff and all the masks and how we're going about procedures, because we all have to we keep in our space. We try to stay safe. We're trying to make sure we can give you guys a good show, but at the same time, we stay safe from everybody and everyone stays safe from us as well.
Absolutely, man. I mean, as long as everybody forgets about their problems for the duration of the show,
Yeah.
then you guys did your job.
That's the whole reason we do it. If you can come there and lose that moment in time, you was stressed out and just start having fun right now and enjoying this, and it brings you back to when you was a kid or how you wanted to meet Michael. And I mean, for me, I watched the other Michael. There's two of us on the show, and he's jealous, and I watch him when he performs. It's like being on the stage is like that energy. You feel it. Like you want to forget about everything you was mad about. You might your girlfriend might have broke up with you. You just watching the show and you're not worried about that right now. You're like, this is like memorizing. You're getting stuck on that. So I mean, that's how it did for me.
No, absolutely, man. So when you're performing, what Michael Jackson songs do you perform?
We do a little bit of everything. We
Okay.
got going from the old school to the new school. You got the J5. We're doing Jackson 5 medley. We're doing Bad, Smooth Criminal, Billie Jean. You're gonna hear Jam, Dangerous. You're gonna hear of course Smooth Criminal, my favorite. I do Smooth Criminal, Thriller, Beat It, Man in the Mirror, Black or White. It goes on and on and on. It's a good list. It's a good list there.
I love it, man. So you said Smooth Criminal is probably your favorite to perform?
That and Billie Jean. Those are my two favorites. Smooth Criminal because I do the lean, so
Okay.
I love doing the lean. That's kind of my favorite part.
You
And then
got the
Billie,
secret shoes?
shh, don't tell nobody.
Okay, okay, okay. And then
Yes.
absolutely, man. Could we hear a little bit of it?
Which one? The shoes?
No,
The
no,
shoes
no.
don't make noise.
No, I'm talking about could you sing a little bit for us?
Boy, oh man, you talk. I just woke up and got to get all fresh for you. Hold on. Me. Here's like a little portion of something. Hold me like the river of Jordan, and I wouldn't say to thee, you are my friend. Carry me like you are my brother. Love me like a mother. Will you be there? You know, when my voice is warmed up. Right now, it's really rough. Sorry.
There we go. Will you be there from the Dangerous album? Deep cut. I love it, man. I love it. So I mean, how does your family feel about the whole Michael Jackson impersonating thing? Are they like that's super cool or?
Oh well, originally my dad thought I needed to get a real job. Of course, but it's dad, and mom was, as long as I'm happy, I make a living. And then eventually I started making a living off of it. And now my mom's out here with me. She lives with me in Vegas now with her husband. My brother lives with me now. We all live in basically family back together. So after being separated for so long, we all back in one household.
There you go. There you go, man. Is your brother involved in the whole Michael Jackson thing, or
No, he's not.
in the
No, he
wrestling
does his own.
business?
No, he's more of a he's a chef. He's a cook.
Oh, that's cool,
He's
dude.
trying to be the next Chef Ramsay. You know.
Hey, dude. Hey, that'd be dope, man. I mean, after a long day of being Michael, you come home to a nice home cooked meal. I would assume, yeah.
Yeah, if he makes the things I like.
There you go, man. There you go. So this is kind of the rapid fire portion of the interview.
Go for it,
Favorite wrestler of all time?
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero. Favorite tag team of all time?
Favorite tag team?
Favorite
Hmm.
tag team of all time?
Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys. All right, me too. What's your favorite match of all time?
My favorite match, the TLC match with the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys.
And the Dudleys. All right. Hot
I
tub
think
time.
Eminem.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, I think Eminem was in that crew too.
all right. Hot tub time machine. What wrestling moment would you want to be in attendance for?
Oh, wrestling moment I want to be in tennis for.
We could do wrestling moment and Michael Jackson moment.
I want to be in for when The Rock faces Hogan.
WrestleMania 18.
Yeah, I would like to have been there. I think that would have been cool.
All
Or
right.
actually, when The Rock and Triple H got into it with Ronda Rousey at his side.
Oh, that was out here, man.
Yeah, I wish I saw that. I wish I saw that. I wish I was there for that. I'm a big Rock fan too. I was like I said, I was always a big Rock fan. But Eddie
All right.
Guerrero was my wrestler. That was a man right there.
Absolutely. Lie, cheat, and steal.
Lie, cheat, and still make you laugh. You know, entertain you.
All right. Now, what
Michael,
about, yeah, what Michael moment would you want to be there for? We talking Motown? We talking the 30th anniversary concert in '01?
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was like what, 93, right? I think so.
Yeah, I would love to have been there for that Super Bowl. All the Michaels popping out everywhere. Then all of a sudden there he is in the middle, just killing it. I'm like, that's it.
That's it. Did you ever get to go to a Michael Jackson concert or anything like that?
No, I didn't. I actually did this for years to actually try to meet him. I figured I became a good enough Michael Jackson impersonator. He'll notice me and maybe want to watch me, see me, or meet me. And after his passing, I just kind of continued doing it. Like, I put a lot of my dedication in my life into this. So this is what I do.
Absolutely, man. Well, I've seen your work. It's spot on, man. It's right there. It's at the top tier, and I love it, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. One day I hope to win one of these damn titles.
Have you? I mean, you've been wrestling for 5 years. Have you won a championship yet?
Not yet. I'm more. Everyone just wants to see that moonwalk DDT. I get to wrestle. My I guess the titles for me is wrestling all these name wrestlers. Being able to wrestle Pat Buck, able to wrestle, Marty, um, freaking Disco Inferno. Um, Shoot, there's other names out there. I'm just trying to remember, but it's just like I got to wrestle all these cool different people and travel around and work with different wrestlers, meet different wrestlers, Killer Cross, work and hang out with him. Um, fuck, is it Bodie? I get meet him at FSW, Simbodi, D'Lo Brown. You got all these great guys that show up there and show love. I work with one of these guys. His name is Wes. He's at the Versus Pro Wrestling. Awesome trainer, awesome guy. Like great wrestler, great work. Um, and you know what? That's my title to me. That's the championship belts I get there. Is getting to work with these guys and learn from all these guys that have been there in the industry longer and they could teach me something and get me even better to really get the crowd on my side or against me or either or.
No, absolutely, man. Now, as we move out of 2020 and 2021's right around the corner, what's next for Santana Jackson?
A real title. An actual title. No, what? I want to push and get further. Maybe maybe someone wants to hire me for real, like AEW, WWE wants to take give me a chance. Someone thinks they see something, I'm willing to give it, everything I got and try to get somewhere. This being on the show is awesome, but I it's so much more I want to do. There's so much more to me that I want to show off, and hopefully I get that challenge.
Absolutely, man. I mean, the wrestling business has evolved so much that I mean, you look at Orange Cassidy, the guy just puts his hands in his pockets and people go crazy for it. So, you
Absolutely.
know, there's a place for
He's
for
actually the one I want to wrestle. That's funny you mention him.
oh, hey, that would be interesting, man.
There's a thing I posted on my Instagram. It's Orange Cassidy holding a sign saying, "I want to wrestle Santana Jackson to shut him up." I was like, "Oh yeah," because someone sent it to me. I was like, "Oh, I want to re-put that up or not?" But I was like, "Yeah, he's the one I want to wrestle for sure."
That would be interesting, man, because I mean, there's a place for a Michael Jackson impersonator in wrestling, and you're the one, you're the only one.
I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be that one. If I can. If I have to come out of the makeup because they say it's too much like him, I have to come out the makeup. But every move and everything I do is still gonna be the same.
Hey, there you go, man. I love it. I love it. All right, Santana, I want to thank you so much. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Santana.Jackson7, on Facebook, Santana Jackson, YouTube, Santana Jackson. um, on Twitter, I believe it's SJ Moonwalk DDT. So
There
you'll
you
find.
go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You want to leave us with another song before we head out?
Oh man, Tito, I got my voice all messed up right now. You talking about doing another song?
uh,
You remember when we fell in love? We were young and innocent then. Do you remember how it all began? It just seems like heaven, so I didn't. And do you remember? Just a little bit, just a little bit.
there we go. There we
Gotta
go.
warm up
Remember
my
the
vocals though.
There we go, man. Remember the time. One of my favorites. Santana, thank you so much, bud.
Hey, thank you for having me. Hope you have a blessed day, man. Love, peace, chicken grease, and a hee hee. Ow!
Absolutely. Hey, whenever you're in the Bay Area, come teach me how to moonwalk.
I'm gonna teach you how to Dougie moonwalk. I'm gonna show you the Carlton. I got you.
There we go. Thanks, man.
No problem. Thank you.